There needs to be an app that counts down when this movie's over.
Countdown.
Alright, so I just got back from watching Countdown. This is a movie that I had no idea was coming out until like a few weeks ago. And it was a movie that I had no idea was PG-13 until about a few days ago. And that really lowered my expectations. I went into this with low expectations. I didn't think it was going to be anything that great. And that's basically how I walked out. This movie's not that great. It's very basic. It's basically a combination of some Final Destination-like elements to the story mixed with the typical paranormal demons coming to get you bullshit that we see in movies all the time. But before we go any further into this movie, what is it even about? It's about an app that counts down to the day and exact second that you die. And no matter what you do, death will come for you. This was written and directed by someone whose only work before this was a 4-minute short about Jennifer Lawrence. And that's kind of ironic because the actress in this movie reminded me of Jennifer Lawrence. When I saw her, I was like, she looks familiar. Then I looked her up. I don't know anything she's done before. So yeah, no big names in here. No even medium-sized names. Like, I don't know anybody in this movie. But before I shit on this film, there are some good things about it. I thought that the beginning was decent. That's the best thing I can say about this movie, is that it's decent. It's a typical young teenage crowd pleaser where people from like 14 to 18 can go out and just enjoy the shit show that this is. It's not the worst made thing ever, but man, I feel like everything I've seen this before. I've seen this before. And I know I'm in my positives right now. Why am I shitting on it? It's just basic. It's bland. It's so mediocre. But the beginning of this movie was okay. I thought that it basically blew its load up front. Like it set the tone for a serious, dark, creepy movie. And I think the premise, those two things aren't close. Why? Well, I don't know. The premise, I like that. I thought that was creepy. And I've seen something like that before. There was like a thing on Final Destination. There was an app or something, or a special feature bonus, I should say, on Final Destination 2 that predicted when you were going to die. And I saw that when I was a kid, and it told me I was going to die in like 2015 or some shit. And I was like 10 years prior when I saw that. Creeped me out. So I can kind of relate to that. It's creepy. The idea behind it is creepy, but the execution is awful. I thought the acting was pretty decent across the board. Everybody does their part, and there wasn't any standout performances that like stuck out like a sore thumb. There wasn't any like bad acting or anything. It was alright. I think the opening kill is actually kind of gruesome for a PG-13 death, but unfortunately, it's all downhill from there. They like set the bar right out of the gate, like this is how it's gonna be, but then everything after that, it's just off screen, or just there's no deaths in this movie at all. There's like maybe 3 people. And when you have a premise like this where like millions of people have this app, like how many people you could see die and how creative you can get with that. This could be like a Final Destination, but they didn't go that route at all. They went with the typical demon with the glowing eyes, the CGI face, and it's awful. I really don't have any other positives to say. It's just not that good. It's decent to some. I can see some people enjoying this, but to me, this is like this year's like Slender Man. It's just not that good at all. It's CGI monster. I would have preferred to not see the monster, Grim Reaper, demon at all. In this movie, just like thinks you're dumb, so they just force feed you all this pointless explanations that you really don't need. It could work better with the mystery and the ambiguity, like what's doing this, or how does it work? What caused this app? And that's the only question that's not answered by the end of it, is why did this demon's Reaper make an app? I mean, he's been living for centuries collecting souls left and right, doing just fine, but then one day I guess just got very fucking bored and then created an app so that he could just let people know when he's going to kill them, because he's a dick. That's the only question unanswered. But everything else is like, here's his name, here's how we can probably stop him. And the tone of this movie, it just hard cuts to comedy, and then goes the next scene, it's a complete serious film with dark, creepy imagery, and the ghost of their past is haunting them, like their darkest fears, like Pennywise is coming to get them, or, you know, like, it's just things we've seen a million times or in other places where it was done better. The camera will pan this way, and then the camera pans back. There's the monster. Oh, the monster is in bed with her. We know it. We've seen the trailer.
Wake up. Yo, are you calling my name?
There's no surprises in this film. They insert this like hashtag Me Too subplot to it, where this woman's a nurse and she's got that dumb like first off, it was so unrealistically written. Like, really, is this really what's happening? This doctor, and they make him this over the top rapey dick who has a wife. He's cheating on his wife with all these nurses, and he like goes and like rats her out like she seduced him. And then when they had that HR meeting, they just immediately have like a verdict like, all right, you're guilty, woman. You fucking raped this doctor. You're suspended without any questions at all. Bullshit. In this day and age of he said, she said, guilty until proven innocent, that's bullshit. It would be reversed. That's the only shock in the movie is that. Like, no, that's the other way around. It's like, you're telling me this woman seduced him? Get the fuck out of here. And they barely make that whole side story like connected to the real story, like how it comes into play later. It could easily be written out of the movie. I feel like this movie was just made to kind of just make a statement about, hashtag Me Too, listen to women. There are always, sexual harassment in the workplace. I get it. It happens. I'm not saying it doesn't. But I feel like this movie was just made to just shine a light on that. And then they're like, well, let's tie a horror movie around it somehow. Because honestly, that easily could have just been taken out of the film. And what this protagonist does at the end, she could have come up with and done on her own without needing that. Like, that doesn't really do anything. Like, it's just, oh, hashtag Me Too. We got a little message to this film. We gotta have a message in this movie. And the ending of this movie, it completely rips off Final Destination 2. The way they defeat it, but do they defeat it? No, it's just Final Destination 2 all over again. No originality at all. And then the ending, there's a sequel. We're gonna promise you a sequel just in case we make enough money to make one. Don't go see it. This movie is not that great. I wasn't bored. It's not like it's boring, but man, the tone, they should have just went all comedy or stuck with the serious shit. It just like every other scene was like pure comedy, and when they went for it, they went for it. And then the next scene was very dark and just creepy and like the shadows, the ghosts. And then the next scene, Tom Segura, the comedian, comes in. He's cracking jokes. That's hilarious. Then it's back to serious again. The creepiness, the phone's ringing. I like how it makes a stupid like like stock sound that you can get on any like Halloween decoration at Spirit City. Just go to that place and like that shit you put on your doorstep that makes that typical cliche stock footage like sound of the Grim Reaper laughing. It's that sound. It's just corny. And the look of the Grim Reaper, corny. It's just, I don't want to see him. Ugh, I'm starting to sound like a whiny bitch. I know, I sound like a bitch. But trust me, it's the movie. It just could have been done a lot better. They could have made it R. They could have just stuck with a serious tone. Or just know that you have a stupid movie and go for it. And just keep going with that funniness. You got PJ Byrne in here from Final Destination 5. He's hilarious, and he's the priest. He's got tattoos of crosses all over him. He's saying "God damn." It's corny as hell. He's listening to rap music. Like I said, it just keeps going from complete spoof comedy to very serious, doesn't know what it is film. I'm not gonna waste any more time on this movie. So when it comes to Countdown, this movie was wasted time. Had potential, but completely failed. It lost me about the 30-minute mark, definitely. I was gone after that. I was like, I don't think this movie's going to pick up again. But what did you think about Countdown? Was this movie effective for you? Did it actually creep you out? Did it scare you with its jump scares? Let me know in the comments below. What's the worst movie you've seen this year? This might be on that list at the end of the year. It's probably up there. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you like what you have seen here, you can hit this like button, and you can become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.